one.
Hi everyone, it's Sabrina Covington with Covington and Associates. On today's video, I would like to talk to you about pricing your home. So last video I talked about commission, now we're going to talk about pricing your home. Pricing your home, I've developed 4 different ways of pricing a home, and then I also have a general philosophy. We're going to do everything that's standard, like look at all the comps and look at the surrounding homes, look at the actual home that we're selling. And what I like to say is pricing is part art and part science, and kind of part gut feeling. So obviously we meet with our sellers to develop a pricing strategy for the home. And so if you're in maybe a planned community, we're going to lean more toward science. So we're going to lean more toward the actual comps. If we're selling like a cute little cabin on Palomar Mountain, then it's going to be more like the art of pricing the property. So keep that in mind as an overall strategy. When I meet with sellers, I bring a little, some educational materials that I wrote about the 4 different strategies for pricing. It's really simple. You've got underpricing, overpricing, traditional pricing, and price ranges. And so what I've kind of listed out here are the pros and cons of each strategy so that you can decide where you want to land. So underpricing. Most sellers don't want to do this, and I get that. But what are the pros? There's actually a lot of great pros to pricing your house a little bit low. Number 1, you get tons of activity, and you're going to get multiple offers, and you're going to have a short market time. If you've ever sold a house and had people coming and going out of your house, it's not that much fun. So having a short market time and getting a really hot buyer is not a bad thing at all. So what are the cons of underpricing? If there's a bidding war going on, buyers might end up bidding higher than they actually want to pay because they get in a competitive bidding war. And then once they get into escrow, they can start asking you for credits and repairs and maybe getting some buyer's remorse and cold feet. Another con is you might leave money on the table if you price too low. People just may not come up to where you want, so there's that risk. And another con is there's no guarantee you're going to get multiple offers and hot buyers that really want to buy your property. But there's no guarantee anywhere in real estate, so it's still a very, very good strategy. The second method of pricing is overpricing. So what are the pros? You're sending a message to your buyers that your home is superior to the surrounding properties and you're demanding a higher value. You may also want to recoup money that you've spent on the house, like putting on solar or new windows, or any capital improvements that you've made to the house. And overpricing is only good if you really enjoy negotiating. And then what are the cons to overpricing? There's some pretty big cons. You get fewer buyers, fewer showings, and another con to overpricing is that buyers are really savvy these days. They're able to look at almost all the same comps that agents are able to look at, and they're really quickly able to tell whether your home is priced a little higher than it should be. And it kind of creates an attitude with buyers that the house might be overpriced. Traditional pricing, that's when you look at all the comps and you try to come in right around those prices. The pro is that you're viewing your home just like an appraiser would. So you really sidestep any problems with appraisals or appraisal gaps that can happen down the road. And there's no real con to traditional pricing. There's really only pros. And then the 4th way you can price a home is with a price range. And something about price ranges kind of evoke a lot of opinions. So price ranges I use from time to time. I just used it on a listing in Fallbrook, and then we switched to a fixed price. So what are you saying with the price range? Price ranges are kind of newer to the industry, but what you're telling the buyer is that there's wiggle room. There's kind of a low end and a high end to what you're looking for from a buyer. The seller message is usually you want somewhere in between, and then as a seller, your only obligation is if you get any offers within the price range, you have to counter back. You can't ignore the offer. That's really all you need to know. And the biggest thing I hear from sellers is everybody's going to offer on the low end. That's actually not true. That's a big misconception for sellers. But there's a lot of factors in a real estate transaction, so it just kind of creates a space where we can negotiate. So what are the pros? On the technology side, there are some pros. So that low end of your range is what's going to get picked up on the third-party sites like Zillow and Redfin. So people search in increments of $25,000. They don't search for houses that are listed at $639,000. They search, for example, 600, 625, 650, 700. So if the low end of your range is, say, $699, you're going to capture a lot of online lookers that say, I don't want to spend more than $700,000, for example. They're going to see your house online and they're going to say, wow, Covington and Associates gets these great photos and it looks so beautiful. Maybe we want to take a look at this and maybe we want to pay a little bit more than we had intended. So you're kind of scooping in the people that are looking on the low end of your range. The downside to price ranging is it's confusing for a lot of people. So let's say they go on Zillow, for example, and they see $699 to $749. Well, people kind of have a short attention span and they don't read the whole description and they get confused by the price range, or they feel like maybe there was a bait and switch going on, that it's actually a range. So obviously in the description we write that it's a range, but on those sites like Zillow and Redfin, they only have one spot for a price. So it can just be confusing for people. So that's really a con. So in review, in pricing a home, you need an experienced agent to explain your options. And then this just provides a structure for the conversation of where we're gonna go. So again, the 4 pricing strategies that we look at, kind of under the overall umbrella of the art and science philosophy of pricing, is you've got underpricing, overpricing, traditional pricing, and price ranges. So hopefully that makes sense to you. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call. If you even just have a general real estate question, give us a call. My direct cell phone number is 760-703-2907. Again, this is Sabrina Covington from Covington and Associates.